Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brady Young, and today I'm doing my video which will be introducing a bit of who I am, talking and answering a few questions, but not any questions that were asked to me, but will be asked by one of my friends, and he is just grabbing something right now, and just give you a little insight that his name is Josh Olatedoye, and I really hope I'm saying that right for the video.
Yep.
So this is my friend Josh, and he'll be asking me questions and just getting to know me a little bit better for this video and just to introduce who I am to you guys. So take it away.
So, Brady,
Oh no, I don't like where this is going already.
this is going to be a fun video. So, how do you want to start off the questions?
Just basic and simple ones, I guess.
Okay, so I met you in grade 12, correct?
Oh, we're doing this type of questions? Yes, you did, Josh. When you came like in like September, like end of September, October, November, what?
We don't need to talk about time zones. So yeah.
And by the way, I'll be doing an interview style type video with him, so you'll be seeing more of him.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, grade 12, how much do you think you've changed since then?
Oh gosh. The humility. You guys gotta start with deep. I definitely say I've learned a lot more. I've grown quite a bit. In the sense of that certain things that I did find amusing before, I don't so much anymore. In that sense of like dirty kind of jokes, I don't find it funny anymore. In that sense, nope. I've definitely grown the fact of like I know what I want to do more with my life, of what my passion is, and just where I can see the end goals of my life and everything. And so,
Still have that cane?
we're talking about the cane.
Okay.
It's gonna be a question and answer video later on. People are gonna be like, "What cane?" I don't like you. It's all positivity, though.
Exactly. Speaking of positivity,
Oh no.
still do sports, Brady?
Yes, on occasion when I can. I mean, I do work out, but I just don't play basketball as much as I used to. I mean, that's kind of what happens after you graduate from a high school where you used to play the sport like all the time from elementary all the way to high school. After you've graduated, if you're not really playing it when you're in university or college, then it's like it's kind of becomes a background thing.
You get a little tired of it too, I guess.
That's true.
So, in terms of hobbies, how do you think you've kind of aligned your hobbies now? Do you think you've focused yourself more on just things around reading and writing, or have you broadened your horizons, I guess?
Well, I've definitely taken an interest in like different things. Like I do still love reading. I absolutely love writing. That's another thing about me is that I'm a writer. I'm an author. I do actually have my first book out. It's called Darkest Light It Begins. It's available on Amazon. Sorry. I'll be putting the link in the description below. But for hobbies, like I do still play video games, but not as much as I used to, just because if I can put my time towards other things, then I will. But I've gained that hobby of working out, I enjoy that. Yeah, just some of my hobbies have changed. Some of them are more aligned with the fact of like, okay, is it going to be beneficial to what my life career choices are?
Right.
So
Very interesting. So many
any other questions?
There's so many things I could ask you.
We're being good. Remember, Josh?
Favorite color?
Red.
Really?
It used to be blue, and then it went to black, and that was a dark period and phase in my life we don't talk about.
Okay, Kylo Ren. Moving on. Speaking of Star Wars, I know you're really into comics.
Oh,
So what got that interest into you?
Ever since I was little, when I was 4 years old, I actually had I've actually the youngest of 8 kids. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. And so they actually all had a lot of other comic books. I think people can count, Josh.
Yeah, I'm just...
No, they all had comic books, like different various ones of Cable, X-Men, Spider-Man, few DC comics. A lot more of my siblings are into Marvel. No, it kind of just started from there, from my siblings just passing it on to me, so...
Okay, do you think that's influenced your writing in a big way, or just a little bit?
I definitely would say it is, just because of a lot of my style of writing for my characters is that like it's based around them just being superheroes in that sense of it's a what if kind of universe in that sense of like what if so many people were actually superheroes, what if we could actually do this kind of stuff, what if we could fly, what if we could read minds, and how would that all transpire in that kind of sense.
Okay. So moving on to something a little bit different musically.
Oh no.
I know you like rap music and Christian rap more specifically.
Yeah, good to be accurate.
Just to let all you kids know out there. Yeah, so about the music you like to listen to. How do you think it's shaped you as a person?
Well, as a kid, I grew up listening to rock music a lot, and that was again influenced by my siblings. And also, they did introduce me to hip hop and rap, and that's influenced me in that sense of I like dancing, and so being able to listen to certain things where I can actually move and just have fun and enjoy myself, like I like that, and just music has definitely helped in that sense of it shaped me as the music I listen to. It does come with a message, like Christian rap, like Josh said, is that Christian rap, it does come with a bit more of a message than some of the music that we hear nowadays. Like, and I'm not saying that a lot of music we don't hear nowadays doesn't have a message. It's just a lot of the music that we hear nowadays, it's the same old kind of stuff. Whereas Christian rap, it does actually have context to what it talks about, and so it does impact because it does actually make you think. It kind of makes you change your viewpoint on certain things, on people in general as well. So
awesome. And I remember a little about words.
yeah, I can't talk either, dude.
I remember a little bit in your first book. There's a scene with music and dancing. What influenced you to put that in there?
Just to kind of give a sense of realism in that sense, where there's a scene where they go to a club that's mainly actually built for teenagers that are in high school. There's no alcohol or anything like that in the club. There's none of that involved. But it's mainly like a club that's dedicated to just a stress relief kind of place for the kids from finals or homework or just to get out and have fun. And I always kind of wish that growing up like that we did have places like that. And so I just I've always loved dancing, and so I just thought like how cool would it be to describe certain things like that and how characters would look like that in that sense. And
so you've done some dancing before as a kid, right?
I still do dancing, Josh.
Well, not all of us can dance. My main question was...
Don't worry, we'll help you.
Never said it was me. My main question would be about...
By the way, that noise you hear in the background would be my dog, Nix.
So fluffy.
Yeah. She's afraid of all newcomers, though, in the house. Except for females. Which is a little weird, but...
So yeah, the dancing. Do you think you've interpreted like the dance and music and some of the likes and hobbies into your characters?
I would in that sense of because I've written the characters that a lot of them like there's not a lot of characters that are actually like solely one race in that sense of there's a lot of just mixed kids in my book and in that sense of like there's so many people that like we're all attracted to different people in that sense and you just like you see all these people that are just like joining in different cultures and so I put that in the books of that sense that in my opinion like in the future we might see a lot more like just mixed babies and everything and just a lot more mixed people and so in that sense of like that every race like they all have their different like likings of music and so and I did put that there's certain characters that they dance better to this kind of music and that it is kind of in there but it's not such a huge theme but it is like I think when I write it in certain things it's just like a nice little nod to everything.
So I'm gonna move on a little bit from the questions about the book, just some random
Yeah, that's a whole nother video.
Fun questions. Let's keep it Christian, guys. Let's keep it Christian.
Having a hard time thinking?
It's
It's like being back in high school.
Would you consider yourself a coupon man?
Yeah, I'm cheap.
Okay, we're all on the same page.
I mean, if you can save money, then why not? Like,
exactly.
If all of a sudden something costs like $18 and all of a sudden you can get something for like $10, it's like, why not? You saved a little bit of money.
Speaking of saving money,
oh no,
let's go back to your book. Do you think writing your first book had any influence in how you save money?
Oh, for sure, because when I was writing the first book, that was for about 6 to 8 months, and I wasn't really working full time on that, and so it was really just a pick and choose of when I was going out with friends, when I decided to eat out and everything, and sometimes it was that a lot of them did offer to pay for me, which was nice, but at the same time, like I'm one of those people that I like being able to pay for myself. Like I don't know why. It's just I think it for me it's just in my opinion a guy thing where it's like we don't always like people paying for us, but um, it really I had to take a dying to myself and my pride issue in that sense of like letting my friends pay for me, but it has really taught me to save money and like be wiser and okay, what can I afford? What's like can I make a budget? And so like lately now I have been working on that. Even now like when I do like I work off and on, but lately now I'm fully dedicated to doing um, my writing, and but I'm also dedicated to now starting up this YouTube channel, and I'm also dedicated to trying to start up a small business with one of my other friends, or with one of our other friends, and I'm not saying anything else about that. Any other questions, Josh?
Disclaimer at the bottom. Seem to have answered all my questions off the top of my head. And your dog's no longer licking my hands because he went away. I mean, she went away. Okay.
But if y'all are wondering, my full name is actually Brady Alexander Young. Just giving more basic info. I know he's not asking, but I'm actually also 21. For the book thing, like I actually did write the first book and published it when I was 20, which I know it's kind of fun to say it to some people because their main reaction is, "You're how old?" But back then it was such a long process and it was so difficult to be self-published. But now with the internet and Amazon and all these things, like it's so easy to do. But yeah, some more basic info about me.
And leading on with that, accomplishing any task, especially something as big as writing a book, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of determination, and it takes a lot of prioritizing.
Oh, I would definitely say so.
Prioritize your friends, your family, your money, just everything in general. So when you started off writing the book, did you find it easy to start off prioritizing things, or was it a big struggle for you?
Oh, it was a pretty big struggle at first. When I first dived in, I was still working. I'm not going to say where I was working at. But I was still working, and it was really hard because there were certain days where I just came home from the job and I just felt so beat. And then there was always been 2 nights in that last year where it was like one night where I had to go help out at my church, and then there was another night where it was young adults, which is also like a branch off like small group for people in like ages 18 to 25. And so there was always like 2 nights out of the week that it's just like I couldn't do any writing in that sense. But then there was other days where like, okay, like I need to take a break. There are certain days where it's just like I felt so exhausted. And then when I came home from work, because I usually always work from 7:30 till 7 to 4:30. And when it's a nonstop, just laborious job, you're always moving, always lifting things. It's like the last thing on your mind that you want to do is just using your mental energy for that. Because all I wanted to do at certain times was like, okay, I just want to sit and I just want to watch TV. But it definitely got to a point where it's like I had to tell some people like, okay, I can't hang out this times. Like I need to step back from certain things. I didn't step back from helping out my church though. I was fully dedicated to that. I didn't step back from young adults. I did believe in having a core group of people that just supported me and kept on pushing me to go into it. But just prioritizing was, I made fully like the weekends were just full days where it was like, okay, writing nonstop from morning till night. And some of those where it was like, I was up until like 2 o'clock in the morning writing. And when I got home from work, like it was just like, if I did have enough energy, like sometimes I would just have a couple cups of coffee. I can't talk either. I would just have coffee. Let's just go with that. I had coffee and then I would just be up until 12 and then I'd go straight to bed. But it was definitely a lot of prioritizing where it was like there was definitely struggles at times with some of my friends where they didn't always agree with the fact that I was kind of isolating myself in that sense, which if I did have the opportunity to go out, it was like, okay, I can. Just like with family, it was a struggling of like trying to make sure like I was doing my part while I'm living at home. And so it has been a struggle. It hasn't always been easy, but I was able to do it. So.
Okay, so 2 more questions for you. What gave you the energy in those times where you were feeling really down to just keep pushing for the book?
Definitely during those times when I was down, and like I said on this channel, like I want to talk about Jesus, and so I'm just gonna be upfront and say like a lot of times if I was down, I had no energy, I would just go into a time of prayer and I would just be talking to God, and sometimes I would just talk to my friends and I would just be like, okay, like I feel like maybe I'm not even doing it. Yeah, he was one of them. He's definitely been one of those friends that has helped me, and so he's definitely pushed me. And But no, there's a lot of times where I just I would push my laptop away from me. I'd just throw on some worship music and I would just sit there for about 20 to 30 minutes and then it was like, okay, I could do it. And I just go back to writing and yeah.
All right, the last question for you is what would you have to say to future writers or just creators that are having maybe a trouble with just getting up there and they think that maybe they're too young to do something that you've done?
I would definitely say there's no restriction on age, and in the sense like if you ever have an idea, because for me like I had this idea for this book, like I originally wanted to write it as a video game, but it was way back in high school. But I still kept that idea around like for grade 9 to grade 12. Like I was continuously working on the idea. I was refining it, thinking about like how could this be made into a sequel? How could it be branched off into multiple sequels? Could this be branched off into prequels type stuff? Um, I would definitely say if you're thinking about being a writer, if you're thinking about being any type of creator, playwright, movie director, anything like that, or just someone who just creates anything, just keep on pushing in. Your age doesn't matter. There are going to be people who are going to say that like that it's a nice dream, but I would definitely say like you know what, if it's your dream to do that kind of stuff, like just push in. Like if it's your passion, if you just find you're so good at, if you're such a good painter, if you're such a good musician, if you're such a good writer, if you're just so good at just being artistic or creative, just keep on pushing in because it's something that's been put on your heart. It's a calling on you. Like you have that fire in you for a reason. So I would say don't ever put it on the back burner. Just keep on diving in.
All right, that was pretty encouraging. And
Well, you're welcome.
it's pretty surprising coming from Brady Young.
You know, I love you. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to put in the description below for my links to all my social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm going to put the link for my Amazon, the Amazon link to my book. It's called Dark Side It Begins. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you guys like this video and just being able to get to know me a bit more. And hopefully within this next week, I'll be able to get 1 or 2 more videos out. Thank you.